Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, once again, despite the best efforts of the internet and everyone trying to censor it, it's showtime. Hi guys, I'm back. You could probably tell because of the way that I'm back. More Guild Wars 2. There we are. This is Zuzi the Zookeeper. Seriously? And we're going to boost her. Now, I know yesterday, pretty sure it was Snoopy who asked if I use build guides, and the answer was occasionally. Sometimes in the past, or even in the present, if I want to do something specific and I don't have time, sometimes. Tonight will be one of those times. I purchased the expansion, and it comes with a level 80 boost, which is obviously good, but you can't use it. Well, you can't use the shared inventory slot it's in until you use it. So to open up that inventory slot, I've got to use it. So, no point really in using it in a character who's already at level 80, unless I need Celestial gear. But I have 4 characters who are not yet level 80. Engie, Ranger, Thief, and Guardian. Did a search to see which one would have a couple of good builds that could use Celestial gear. Decided to go with the Ranger. And so the Ranger will be using this level 80 boost on Zuzi. Let's begin the trial.
How may I assist you?
I am sent to the Silver Wastes. I wish they had changed the way this works because it's very confusing to people. It's confused me, confused friends, and just yesterday I saw it confusing a streamer, a real streamer, not a streamer wannabe like me. I was playing Guild Wars 2. I had to explain, no, it says it's not going to stick or anything like that. It all sticks once you go back and accept. At the request of your allies, the Arcane Council has dispatched a team to reactivate. Yeah, okay. That is the package of my old equipment. This is the new equipment. Celestial, 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 Celestial. I have set aside a couple of other weapons that I will want to be using in lieu of these two. Not that there's anything wrong with a greatsword or a longbow, but they're not really used in the builds I'm making. Also, this is not the best looking set in the world. I mean, the headpiece is kind of, well, fugly. Zuzi, of course, is lovely. And everything is celestial. Also, it's nice having the Celestial Spear that you can swap into the Land Spear option, should you choose to. But I believe we're just going to say yes. This is awesome. This is fine. What did we get? We have logged in. Yay! You've been outfitted as a rival. You can experiment in Silver Waste before deciding, do I have to stay here? Till you leave, you can undo your level. I don't want... what happens if I leave? When you attempt to leave, you'll be prompted to undo the boost or expend the item. So we're just going to run to the exit. Going to say, you really want to do that? Are you sure you want to do that? Temporarily level 80. I was level 60. I will consume. And journey. And yes. I do not want to actually travel to the Brisbane Wildlands, though. Instead, we're going to go to our guild hall. Because there's a second pet we want to get that's in Domain of Vabi, and the fastest way to get to the Domain of Vabi is to go through our guild hall, which is in
Statistically speaking,
the Domain
this
of Vabi.
is rather rare.
So we are going to remove. It comes with sigils of force and accuracy. The sigils of force by themselves are pretty good. We will remove both of those. We will equip an axe, which is celestial. We have the torch going in the offhand, and we will be selecting stats for it as celestial. And the other one is going to be Warhorn. And this one is not going to be celestial, but it does have Condi and expertise, so that's fine. Wrong thing. Goes there. There we go. The axe gets wielded for both. So those need runes, or sigils, sorry, sigils. And the runes we currently have equipped are ranger runes, because I'm a ranger. Danger ranger. But we want different ones. I am, like I said, following a guide this time. I found the links. Don't need that one. The other one I need is the Iboga. And it is in the glowering overlook west of the necropolis. We want runes of the afflicted. And since we happen to have legendary runes, afflict. That's what the build calls for. This is increased condition damage. This is a Condi build. If you're not a Guild Wars 2 player, there are two basic kind of builds, at least for as far as damage is concerned. Condi damage is condition damage, damage over time, which tends to be a higher number.
Not my fault. Not my
overall.
Oh, dear.
But as a disadvantage, if it dies, then you haven't been efficient. Power is better for big boom hits to kill things quickly. Condi is better, especially in a mobile fight. If you've got to run around, you condition them up, and you can run around and they're continuing to take damage. So sometimes strike damage, the basic boom damage, is better, and sometimes condition. I generally play strike damage. Let's see. So we had a force, right? I think we want two forces. Well, we can get probably one force and one of something else. We can get to that in a sec, I guess. Let's let us get our other pet. First, there is some freebies we want to get. I don't know if we've gotten them on this character. Doesn't look like I have. These are a long-lasting buff. That is good. We don't have a lot of choices. We have crafting, which increases your crafting crit chance, or gathering. The gathering one is really freaking good. That it gives you a significant chance of getting the better mats, the rare mats, when you do a gathering. And that's just simply flat out good. So now that we are level 80 and it's sticking, this is the guild hall. There are 3 guild halls you can get. 4? Maybe it's 4. 3 or 4. 4, I think. Yeah, this one from Heart of Fire. There's one from End of Dragons. And 2 from Heart of Thorns that were available. And they have to be fought for to claim. This one was much harder than the End of Dragons one, which we managed to claim without outside help. The Domain of Vabi. And what we're looking for here is the Juvenile Iboga, which is just a really, really freaking good pet. And we're headed about there, I think. A ways. Once we get that done, we're going to be hunting up some hero points so that we can spec this guy out. Most played profession spec? Most played spec by far is Dragon Hunter. You got to mention earlier, Snoopy, if you weren't around. Because I am using a build guide tonight, and I just leveled this guy up to level 80 from level 60. Because you asked about build guides last night. This one is using a build guide. Basically, because I bought the new expansion, I have had a level 80 boost, and I wanted to open up the inventory, shared inventory slot. And to open up the shared inventory slot, you have to use the boost. So I looked at my non-level capped characters and did a search to see which had at least 2 good Celestial stat builds, and Ranger does amongst the 4 classes I could choose from. Ranger actually has 3 good Celestial builds. My least played profession is Warrior, believe it or not. And I would say that Warrior's probably like the second most often played by most players, but for whatever reason, I never found a Warrior spec that really, really grabbed me. Of the specs that are available for it, I'm pretty sure I've played mostly the Berserker, because that's pretty straightforward. Now, that's really odd that there is a mastery point I've never gotten here. Is this one of the you have to fight a genie mastery points? I think so, probably. I just find it odd. I have never before grabbed this one.
There's the
I will
power.
discover your breaking point. How far are you willing to push yourself?
Sick 'em!
I see your determination. It is
We
admirable.
heal as one. Strength of the path.
have progressed far, mortal.
Great, another
Your
testament
mettle
to my
has been
greatness.
well tested, mortal.
So by far the spec I've played most is Dragon Hunter. I can't believe I'd never gotten that mastery point before. That just blows my mind. I've done all of the content that's soloable in the game on Dragon Hunter. That's my default. I'm so familiar with it, I can play it adequately with my eyes closed. Other classes that I have played a lot, classes and specs, are Necromancer, Reaper, Mechanist, Engineer, because that's a real put your brain in neutral. And sometimes, okay, a lot of times that's the way I want to play. I want to put slack jaw, drool puddling up, and destroying everything on Mechanist. And Pistol, Deadeye for Thief. I would say those are the 4 specs I have played most. By far, the most is Dragon Hunter, Guardian, then Mechanist, Necro. Reaper, Necro, Mechanist, NG, and Pistol, Deadeye, Thief. All right, now we are looking for the juvenile Iboga to tame it. And it's supposed to be round here somewheres. We got harpies, we got scarabs. We got a player down here that I can try and save.
There's the power.
Ready for action.
I have saved him. I'm a freaking hero. Oh, they're doing a rift. It's just generally a good pet. But yeah, I think in particular, my understanding is PvP and World v World. I helped a stranger because I'm a good guy. That's my good deed for the day. Now I get to be a dickhole to everyone else I meet. Let's see where I'm supposed to be for this. That's that. The jacaranda should be right over the glowering word. So it should be around there instead. Where I just was with the genie and the unexpected mastery point. I don't need the mastery points, obviously, in this expansion. But what the hell? Oh, we've got jacaranda sightings. We've got jacaranda sign. All right, where's the juvenile one? Where's the juvenile? Come on. Gotta be around here somewhere. Up. Juvenile jacaranda.
I chose you.
I will charm it. The pet dynamic in the game is something I really, really like, but it is very, very, it's got to be an absolute design nightmare because you want pets to be interesting and good, but most of the time, if they're interesting and good, there's going to be best in slot. All right. Is it... will it fit? Unpowdered ibogaine. It fits. Oh, this isn't the Iboga. I thought I was looking for the Iboga. Did I get the wrong thing? I bet I got the wrong thing. Oh, I got the wrong thing. How did I get the Jacaranda? I was looking for the Iboga. That's in the desert highlands. All right. That's fine. Now we know we can still go get it. Let us go to the Lily of the Elon. That's Elon. Elonia. It's not Elon, okay? I got the Jacaranda. I want the Iboga. Okay, ready? There we go. Let's see. Are there any other specs? Well, there are a number of specs I haven't played a bunch. Most of the more recent specs I haven't played that much. I'm going the wrong way. Simply because I haven't had the time and I've been playing less. But other classes, let's see. I've played a chunk of Rev, not a bunch of Warrior, a lot of Guardian, obviously. I don't think I'd ever played an enormous amount of NG until the Mechanist came out. That increased the amount I played a lot. I had done a good amount of Scrapper Flamethrower Scrapper. I'd played a good chunk, but not an enormous amount of Rev on Shortbow Renegade. I was talking about the Wooden Potatoes videos. That's the most Rev I ever played, was on the one that he had for that. I've played a lot of Ellie, mostly badly. My first main in the game was because I enjoyed Dagger Ellie so much in the beta. That was my initial main character. I've also played a good amount of Harbinger Necro. I haven't played a bunch of Scourge. Probably should have played more Scourge when Scourge was broken good, but I didn't. Mesmer is one I have tried to play a lot, never played very well. So I think mostly my Mesmer is kind of not great because I never learned to play any of them very well. Watch some of the Wooden Potatoes videos during lunch. I hope you find them both interesting and useful. For me, they were both. And amongst the mediums, like I said, I did enjoy Thief early on, but it wasn't until I got Pistol Deadeye Thief, because it was very, very straightforward. And by straightforward, I mean, again, kind of a put your brain in neutral and you can still play this spec well. So funnily enough, two of those builds, both the 4 builds I've played the most, are builds I got from the Wooden Potato videos. I turned a couple of my friends onto Pistol Thief as well, and they were really happy with it because they don't have the time to sink into the game to get like really good at a rotation and stuff, and they didn't have to for that. All right, I have the Jacaranda, where I think I get the Iboga Stampede Uplands, directly south of the Stampede Uplands map text, which is somewhere like here, I think. Now, keep in mind, WP is, in a good way, he is long-winded. So I think for a lot of people would be well served by like watching his stuff, you know, with a speed buff for the videos. But I found them interesting enough, at least at the time, that I listened to all of them. Generally, they're not too much in the way of requiring piano playing skills. They tend to be relatively straightforward. I don't think that the Firebrand build is useful anymore. I think that they've changed the way Firebrand works enough that I don't think that particular build of his would survive. Uplands. We're looking for uplands. Up there, probably. I think it's up here, but to the south. If I remember correctly from when I tamed it before on my main Ranger. Yep, Stampede Uplands. So the videos he's talking about, if somebody wasn't around yesterday, he asked me about build guides. And I said, yeah, sometimes yes, sometimes no. But I made a particular point of talking about the most valuable, at least for me, in terms of learning the game type information. One second.
Where am I?
Were a series of videos Wooden Potatoes did like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. Wooden Potatoes is a content creator, if you're not familiar with it. And the videos were one build for each class meant for open world and storyline gameplay. So they emphasized, you know, self-buffing. They emphasized survivability, good damage, and generally straightforward play. Most of them, if not all of them, were power builds, because for solo, generally speaking, power builds are better. You kill mobs faster. You don't have to worry about, you know, this thing does 1,000 damage, but it takes 8 seconds to do 1,000 damage. And most of the time things are going to be dead in 5 seconds, and so a lot of your damage is backloaded, whereas in power it's going to be front-loaded, so you're more likely to just kill stuff faster. And those videos, I think I had probably between 600 hours of the game played at the time I watched those. I always wanted to find builds that were better or understand the game better, and those videos didn't just give me better builds. They gave me information that was very, very useful. Let's see. We are doing Untamed on this. There we go. We have unlocked Untamed. Now I'm going to take a sec to I don't want to destroy it. Oh, we've got 2 sigils. We definitely want to put
I'd volunteer, but my skills are limited to non-violent research.
Force in that one.
There with them.
I have a sneeze coming. I have sneezed, and look, Mon, no brains. And in the others, let's see what they're supposed to have. Agony. Oh, Agony and Earth. Interesting. Earth and agony. Wouldn't have expected that.
Workers. Prime bounty contract here. Abel Stonejaw, the Minotaur.
Wrong thing. Earth is inflict bleeding for 6 seconds on critical hitting. Okay, that makes sense.
Wicked lay enhanced creature.
And we're probably going to spend more of the time in Warhorn for now, so we can slap agony in there. Which increases the duration. All right. And now he's going to get his new name, which was Unpowdered Ibogaine. Anyone get that reference? If so, you are a geek. It is a reference to The Princess Bride, where in the poison drinking challenge between our hero and Vizzini, the Sicilian, he has poisoned the beverage with ibogaine powder. So this is an iboga, but it's not powder, so it's unpowdered ibogaine. It's really an obscure reference. I cannot deny. I can't move that? I can't even move that. They won't let me move it. And I got this as a... No, this is the great sword. No, that's not the great sword. I got that as a drop? I got that as a drop. From something I fought, I got that as a drop. I am curious. 14 gold item as a drop. Just randomly. I haven't done much fights. Was it when I rescued the guy who was downed and fighting the mob? I honest to God don't know. Oh, that's not bad looking at all. That's not a bad looking two-handed sword, I presume. Yeah, it's a great sword. That is not bad looking. I have to say. I have to say that because it's true. I am contractually obliged to say true things. Alright, that's soulbound, so we can get rid of that. Really? Did this character not have a longbow? Oh, it might be in there. Regardless, we now have a longbow. That is that. Pardon me, I'm just tidying up some stuff.
Affirmative.
See, even he says affirmative, so he understands that I'm just tidying up some stuff. That's the rest of the 80 boost package. I think we can open that up. Ooh, okay. Harvesting gear, good. The Mystic Salvage Kit, not really needed, but we will go through it in time. 15 slot bags, which are better than what I'm currently using, at least in the case of the invisible bag. That one is 12 slots, so the invisible bag comes out, gets replaced with a leather bag of 15 slots. I have how many more? I have 3 more. That will be all of them. Okay. This leather bag is only a 12 slotter. Bloop. And this will hold all of our weapons, many of which will be getting swapped out as we get level 80 replacements for them. So the other 2 leather bags, out, damned bags. Okay, good. We now have a bunch of 12 slot bags that we can do something with. We have mango pies. Celebration booster. does that last? An hour. That needs to get banked.
What's the latest on that expedition? That's
A
been
die
tracking
pack
us?
containing 7 random dies. We have a celebratory die pack.
Destroyers have them
That's
boxed
nice.
in.
I'm not sure why we got that.
Maybe they're going to send a team down to try and rescue
They're
them.
still not going to let me move that, huh? No. So that'll have to stay there until I have the time to deconstruct everything that I was wearing. All right, so now I'm going to start getting those hero points I was talking about. Signet of the Wild. Lightning reflexes. All right, he has what? Let's see. An immob, so an ICC.
Come here.
And the cat. That's a stalker. I didn't want the stalker.
Knowledge is power.
I didn't want the stalker. Wanted the freaking lynx. There we go. The lynx is named Lancelot Lynx. That's a really old guy reference. Really old guy reference. When I was a kid, there was a kids show that in essence was a parody of James Bond movies, but all the characters were played by chimpanzees.
You've got that look about you.
No, I'm not making that up.
Fire of yours against a
I was
true
not
hero.
hallucinating in 1968, 70. And it was Lancelot Link, secret chimp. See, missing link. Get it? And the female chimp was named Mata Hari. I swear I'm not making this up, okay?
I'm gonna pack up and get these delivered, but I'll take any extras you have before I head out.
I'll take that reward.
Thanks. I'll make sure these are put to good use.
Sick 'em. Strength of the pack.
And we have hero points. And so it begins. Let me really quick grab. We have skirmishing and nature magic. Marksmanship and skirmishing. So, okay. Nature magic. Yep. And I think those were all 3 in the middle. No. Top, middle, top. Top, middle, top. Deal increased strike damage for boons affecting you. Grant boons to nearby allies when swapping pets. And spirits slam again when they finish shaking. I slam frequently when I'm done shaking too. Skirmishing was top, bottom, top. Top, bottom, top. And currently I am in Beast Mastery. I can go ahead and put in Tame down there and we'll start. We'll start slowly. Gaining. You now have the ability to unleash. I can unleash myself or unleash my pet. But unleashing me kind of leashes the pet and vice versa. So maybe it should be called leashed, not unleashed. Just saying. Just an idea. Never mind. Oh, where were we? Over here. Over here? Over here. I did most of these last night. Is anyone actually over here doing the event? That's not the event I thought it was. We are going to grab the hero point that's easy peasy over here, Z. Ah, you guys all missed. What a bunch of losers. I tell you. It's so hard to get good help these days. Oh, jeez. And then I talk about that and it almost kills me in one shot.
Heal as one.
That, I believe that is exactly what I deserved. I deserved that embarrassment and humiliation because of my arrogance. I hope you enjoyed Len's getting his just desserts. Because, hey, it's just dessert. We will quickly pop back over here. I laugh at them and they immediately almost kill me by knocking out my mount. You know, sometimes you just shouldn't make fun of karma. I have more points. Oh, I guess I can go there.
Awaken! Incoming!
All right, up here is the cloud of dust mites, which theoretically shouldn't be a problem. I mean, it's just a bunch of little bugs, right? A little more to it than that. Let's kill the sand lion because having extra friends join us when we're trying to deal with a hero point, never fun.
Maximum pain! Oh, what a pleasant surprise.
Oh, what a pleasant surprise.
Sicko! Another wave!
Okay, more hero points. That's what we're doing tonight. We used a boost. We'll grab a bunch of hero points. We are now up to 36 level 80 characters. Because I'm not well in the head. I think we can agree on that. That's on this account, mind you. So I have 3 characters in the 40s to 60s. I have 1 empty slot for key farming. And the rest are level 80s. I also have a second account with 10 character slots. That's 9 level 80s. And 1 for key farming.
You there, friend! Come and help me prepare for battle against the branded!
Accelerating! Rip them off!
Hyenas. They must steal our food. Teach them to keep their distance.
Sicko! Strength of the pack!
Gotta say, my horn sounds more like a flute. It's not a particularly impressive sounding, you know. Damn, that's a war horn. It's more tweed. What else we got? Oh, we're here and we're there. Remove conditions when I or my pet unleash. Next one over here is a great big grub, I think. Said the same thing last night. I couldn't remember what kind of thing it was. And I did it last night, and I can't remember. Stay young, guys. Ladies, gents, just stay young. So you don't have to worry about this. I'm getting old and I can't remember anything anymore. Crap. You'll be glad you did. It's a grub. All right.
Sick 'em! Strength of the pack! Rip them up!
A skittish choya. Why is that thing still... My pet has decided it wants to attack all of the things. I admire its initiative. It's a guard. All right, we've got another one waiting for us at the tomb of the primordial kings. Primordial. Potato. Ooh, I got a glob of globby gloop. How many of you have gotten a glob of globby gloop today? Not many, I bet. Dwarven chest. Lost dwarven chest. As I posited previously, which one is lost? The chest or the dwarf? I have questions. They're not good questions. They're kind of nonsensical questions. But they're questions. I will commune with this place of power because it's powerful. Six out of 7 for this map, and that's all we want. Because the 7th one is an incredible pain in the fundament. We'll go with fundament. My cup runneth under. I will AFK just a moment. Hey there, hi there, ho there. You're as welcome as can be. Okay. That is, I do believe, 6 of 7 in this map. Yeah, we can go here. make a quick left, and that'll take us to the Broken Pyramid. Got some big critter up over there. And there is the Broken Pyramid. Over there is Champion. I think it's the giant worm. Oh, and another, we've got a Champion branded Hydra. I've never been particularly adept at soloing champions. Occasionally I can manage it, but most of the time not so much. I think the primary thing keeping me from being any good at it is an unfamiliarity with their attacks, so I don't know which ones I ought to be spending a little bit more effort in not getting hit by. Here's a pretty straightforward way of getting up here by running along the inside. A little mini jumping puzzle along the inside of the pyramid. But if you've got the flying mount, it's that much easier. Open the branded chest for some more free goodies. Because goodies, as you can tell by the presence of the word good in goodies, goodies are good. Next up, we will grab the commune point that is defended by a dust mite. Which again, doesn't sound like much, but they can be a real pain in the schwanz. A quick pop over. Biorhythm. Ah, yes, the science, quotes, of biorhythms. Big time air quotes on that one. Where is the ugly little thing? Is the bigger one not around? There he is. Get this done before he aggroes. I'm dubious, but maybe. As long as he continues along that way and doesn't do a sudden right turn. Whoops, he just did a sudden right turn. Gotta go! 3 left. That is Awakened Guy, southeast of Amnoon. It is the Jinn over by the tree, and then inside the mine is, I think it's technically it's one of Balthazar's friends.
Accelerating. Sick 'em. Strength of the pack.
The air attends my will.
Synergy is beautiful.
Even the power The magic here is unstable.
Yeah. The magic here is unstable. That's why you got beat. I'm sure that's it. It's the unstable magic. Quitter. Loser. Many choyas. Handle it. That's an old guy MMORPG reference. And in here we have one of Balthazar's, I would refer to it as one of Balthazar's air surfers. The way he swoops around and stuff. And he's not there yet. He runs around for a bit before he starts taking any damage or anything. You know, the usual.
There's the pout. Rage at maximum. Sick 'em. Synergy is... wear them down.
Another one complete. Ooh, we got something done. Dailies? Weeklies. Nice. Completed 10 events. More points. Mind you, there's a lot of time before we open up our next batch in the Wizard's Vault, because that doesn't happen for 1 day less than 3 months. October 28th is when we get the new expansion. Actually, we can just swoop back to Amnoon, I think. Yep. Technical term, we can swoop back. Let me real quickly check, see where we go. In Untamed, we go bottom, mid, top. Bottom is blinding. Cantrips grant barrier. Am I using? I don't think I end up using any cantrips. Disabling a foe, give them condition. Sure, we'll go with that for now.
Hi, Outlander. Let me know if you need help getting.
Hi. Is that the Choya? It is the Choya.
And that's how amazing I am. Combine and compound.
Not sure what that means, but sure. Combine and compound. Why not?
Sick 'em. Heart of a volcano. Strength of the pack. Burning.
Oh.
Burning. Burning.
Yes, they are burning. I'm burning a little, they're burning a lot. We couldn't let the Choya win. Guild Wars 2. First, what am I drinking? If you are an American, you might have grown up with the summertime treat of a root beer float, the adult version. Vanilla vodka, splash of cream, root beer. Guild Wars 2 is free to play, and A lot of people will say that's just a demo, but no. It is almost the entire game as it was originally released 12 years ago. Basically, everything that was in the game when it came out is available in the free-to-play game. Where they make the money is from the in-game store, which has some cosmetics, but also some quality of life stuff, leveling boosts, that kind of thing, and from the expansions. So it is a game I can strongly recommend trying, because the free-to-play experience is basically the same game that it released as. So if you ever wanted to play Guild Wars 2, trying it doesn't cost anything. The limitations are, I don't believe you can send mail to anyone who hasn't friended you. I don't know if you have access to the auction house. I don't think you do. And you're limited to 2 character slots. And I think you have a limitation on the number of character bags, basically inventory slots you have. As a World of Warcraft player, there are some similarities, but for instance, if you as a World of Warcraft player were going to play Final Fantasy 14 or Lord of the Rings Online or Star Wars The Old Republic or a number of other games, the game systems are similar enough that you would be able to just sit down and play and be pretty functional. You know, the hotbars work the same way, you level up, you get skills, that kind of thing. A lot of those systems are a little bit different in Guild Wars 2, and that can be a little bit
Come Outlander, learn of King Joko, bring her
a learning curve for that. For instance, the weapons on your hotbar, the weapons you're using
Take us back into your kingdom, your
give you your
majesty.
skills on the hotbar on the
Anything
1 through
to
5
return to your
slots.
good graces.
So I have an axe in my main hand, and that gives me these 3 skills. I have a torch in my offhand, and that gives me these 2 skills. In this particular case, I don't have a second main hand weapon, so when I swap weapons, it only swaps the offhand to now that's a war horn. So these 5 skills are going to be dependent on the weapon you're using. This is a heal skill. You'll get access to several to choose from. These are called utility skills, and you have a bunch to choose from. And then you have a small number of elite skills to choose from. When you swap weapons, your skills will change most of the time. Every class has its own class mechanics, but there is a learning curve. So you would want to be aware that there is a learning curve. New expansion is October 28th. The previous expansion had its last content drop. What they do now is they have annual expansions, and then every 3 months they have a content addition for the previous expansion. There are currently 5 expansions. The 3 big ones were Heart of Thorns, Path of Fire, and End of Dragons. And since then, they've had Secrets of the Obscure and Janthir Wilds. On October 28th, we get the next one, and that is Visions of Eternity. There are 8 classes available in the base game. The first expansion added a 9th class and also added elite specializations. So as you level up, you will fill out your skills tree. So for instance, this is one of the skills trees. For this class, I'm playing a ranger. So you have traps, survival training, you have command for your pets. You'll have specializations as well. And what you do is you'll get points that you can apply to each of these as you level up. And eventually, when you hit level 80, it'll open up any elite specializations that you have bought the expansion for. So if you bought the first expansion, you get access to Druid as a ranger. If you have the second, you get Soul Beast. The third gives you Untamed. And then amongst these various spec lines you have learned here, these 5 plus any elite specializations, you get to choose a couple of these with some other changes in here to determine your spec. It can be a lot to adjust to because it is very different.
Take us back into your kingdom,
Buildcraft
Your Majesty.
in Guild Wars 2
Anything
is
to
very
return to your
good.
good graces.
You have a lot of options,
to King Joko.
and some of them
Sick 'em.
can be significantly different in the way your build will play.
Getting healthy.
Yeah, I'm glad to any game I enjoy talking about. And, that includes WoW as well. I still play pretty much every WoW expansion when it comes out. I think the only WoW expansion I didn't play on launch was Pandaria. So I still play WoW. I still play Latro. It's been a while since I played Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Your kingdom, Your Majesty. We'll do anything to return to your good graces.
We were wrong to ever leave Alona.
But if you enjoy MMOs and you're willing to put in at least a couple of hours to sort of get the hang of Guild Wars 2, because it does play differently. The free-to-play game experience is very good. Very, very good. My favorite MMO, see, that is a tough one. If I was to pick the one I have played the most, that would be WoW. I added up a couple of years ago, I added up my most played characters on my main server, and it was 6,000 hours. So I have 6,000 hours in that. I probably am pretty close to 6,000. I did the same thing in Latro and came up with 5,500. So I'm probably close to 6,000 in that. I have 5,000 in this game. So, the most played would be WoW. The one, if I could only play one game for the rest of my life, it would be Guild Wars 2. But no MMO ever hooked me like Star Wars Galaxies did when it came out.
The Forged. Quick,
so,
everyone out of the field.
I have answered that question a number of times, and I have 3 answers. The one I've played the most is WoW. The one I currently enjoy most, and the one if I could only pick one to play ever again, would be Guild Wars 2. But none of them ever hooked me the way Star Wars Galaxies did.
You're very kind. Thank you.
Galaxies was the third MMO I ever played. The first one I played was Ultima Online. I didn't like it. I don't remember specifically why. I just didn't like it. No, Star Wars Galaxies is very old. It's been mostly dead for years. There are emulators, and there was a code leak. So there are player-run servers out there for it. I could go on for quite some length. The original game was almost purely a sandbox game. They did a they updated sort of the combat system to try and fix a lot of the imbalances that existed. And then not too long after that, they did a complete revamp of the game to make it more like WoW, which was intentional. Because WoW had come out, and the people at Lucas said, we've got Star Wars. How the hell is our game getting its lunch handed to it by this World of Warcraft thing? And so they made the game more like World of Warcraft. So Star Wars Galaxy has a lot of private servers. The game itself was shut down shortly after Star Wars: The Old Republic was released. So that's about how long it's been dead. Since about when Star Wars: The Old Republic was launched.
A quick word before you proceed.
Mostly, for my early years, I was playing a mage. Since then, I've played a lot of Blood DK, a fair amount of the DPS spec for Demon Hunter. I can never remember. Vengeance? I can never remember the name. Those are the ones I've played the most. Yeah, basically the two in particular. For most of my early years, when I was raiding and such, and very active, I mostly played mage. Since then, mostly DK, primarily Blood. For solo, I always liked Frost early on. Later on, I got pretty good at Arcane. I've never been much of a fire mage. But I would play whichever of Frost and Arcane was the stronger spec at the time. Essentially, would determine which one I would play. I was just never very good or very comfortable playing fire. For whatever reason. Oh, come on. Seriously? I have no idea why. I was just never comfortable or very good at fire. I've mostly just played solo in WoW since probably Lich King. I think Lich King is the last time I seriously spent a good amount of time and effort doing group play. Yeah, try the free-to-play version before buying the expansions. Yeah, I would. There's no reason not to. Now, you may just get a few hours in. When I first played the beta, I bought the game to get into the beta, and after about 2 hours, I go, I think I've wasted my money. I don't think I'm going to like this game at all. But once I started to understand the differences between it and WoW, which is what I was playing at the time, I kind of went, oh, I get it. Yeah, it's really different, but that's cool too. So yeah, definitely play it first before you buy any of the expansions. And if you're kind of, oh, that's not good, kind of lukewarm, what you might want to do is say, it's not bad, but I'll wait for a sale. Because it does have sales a few times a year where you can get the expansions significantly less expensive. You know, so if money is an issue for you, there's no reason to hurry. Take your time. And like I said, you're basically getting the same game we got at launch for free. I mostly play solo. I will occasionally join up. I've got some friends online if they're on, but mostly I do play solo. But that is actually okay because most of what I like to do is open world content and story stuff, which can be solo. And a lot of times the open world stuff, what's kind of neat about it is you're playing solo, but there are a whole shitload of people around because there are meta events that can have, 100 people involved.
Strength of the pack.
And so you can play alone, but you're playing with other people, if that makes sense. A lot of the stuff you do in Guild Wars 2, as an example of the design that they do very differently from WoW. In WoW, if there is, at least historically, I don't think this has changed. Let's say that there is a mining node or a wood node that you want to grab, but someone runs up and grabs it before you. Well, okay, it's gone. In Guild Wars 2, as part of the design, you see this flax here. I can land, I can pick this up. Everybody else can land and pick it up too. This mithril ore node, I could land, mine that, and it would still be there for everyone else too. Basically, all of these nodes are shared. Everyone can access them at the same time. I mostly play MMOs alone, yes. I understand that doesn't necessarily sound like what MMOs are for, and I can't say you're wrong.
Yeah.
Bravo! You've done the Anvil Warband proud.
But because I like to pace myself, to play at my own pace, a lot of times that's what I end up doing. I play stuff solo. But, I mean, I did do, like, You know, end game rating in WoW. We had a big enough guild we could run AQ20. We didn't have enough to do AQ40, but we could do AQ20, sometimes with only 16 people. They are great for playing in groups, and I have done a lot in groups. But also, I just like the shared world aspect of the game. And one of the things this game does really well, similar to world quests in WoW, where, you know, there's probably a lot of people working on the same world quest at the same time, and so you're all fighting the same mobs and all that stuff. And now that you have shared tagging, that's fine. Everyone can wail on the same mobs. That's what playing in the open world in Guild Wars 2 is like most of the time, in that it's a shared world and everyone can be doing the same thing, even if they're doing it alone. But I have done my time. As I was saying, endgame raider in, you know, in vanilla, in Burning Crusade. I don't think we ever actually got to, we did some raiding in Lich King, but I think by then sort of the group was starting to break up because we'd been playing so many years together. We were just kind of tired of it. So we did some raiding in Lich King, but I don't think we ever did Lich King fights themselves. Oh, you can also play content with friends. Absolutely. Oh yeah, there's dungeons, there's raids, there's strikes, which are basically just 10-man boss fights. The raids are 10 men. Strikes, which are 10-man content, are basically just boss fights. The dungeons are kind of deprecated. The idea for Mythic Plus actually comes from fractals in Guild Wars 2, where there are, I think, 25 fractals, and each one has 4 tiers of difficulty. And those are 5-man content. And plus there's the open world stuff. And the open world stuff doesn't sound like it might be big, but there are meta events going that cover the whole map, and we'll have 100 people playing in multiple big sets of groups, fighting their way through like separate paths to get to the same place. The fact is that you can play alone. It is a very, very solo-friendly game. It is also an alt-friendly game. But it's not solo necessary, and it's not alt necessary. But if you enjoy those things, it is a very good game for those things. And that's a good fit for me personally. Oh, look! Lions! Why are you invulnerable when I use my first skill?
Sick 'em! Strength of the pack! Clear the air! We heal as one. Help me! I'm hurt.
This has not been my best fight. There we go. One of the other things you should know about Guild Wars 2 is every time they bring out a new expansion in WoW, of course, there's the level bump, the item level bump, all of that stuff. And I want to be clear, I enjoy leveling up and getting new gear as much as the next guy. But that's not a factor in Guild Wars 2. Level 80 is the cap. You can reach level 80 in the base game, the free-to-play game, and you can get gear. And that gear will still be useful if you've done every single expansion content in the game. Because the level cap is still 80. There has been one boost to gear in 12 years, and that was like 2 years in.
There's the power.
I won't be bested so easily.
Now there is progression, but it is very sort of narrowly focused. For instance, it's called masteries, and Path of Fire brought in mounts, for instance, and your advancement there is improving the functionality of your mounts. Good night. Thank you for hanging out. If you do end up enjoying it, I would like to hear about it. And if you didn't, I would like to know why. Either way, that's useful information I can pass on to any other people who are interested. Ask questions. Thank you for giving me a chance to babble about it. As I said, I enjoy talking about games I enjoy. Whether it's Guild Wars 2 or WoW or Dune Awakening, which is currently my obsession. Sleep well, and thank you for hanging out. You are welcome, most certainly. All right, we have... How many more? We have 4 more. Okay, there's one down here. There's that one right there, which is a tough fight. There's the Harpy over there. Which one am I missing? Oh, and like the champion. And I think he's... in here? In here, I think. We should get to him first. Not the champion, the dead guy. I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that he hates being referred to as the dead guy. But dude, you're dead. Yes, I know I'm dead. You just don't have to make a thing out of it. There he is. All right, give me a sec here. Let's go ahead over here and see where we are on our Untamed advancement. Oh, look at that. More spec points. I'm going to search the grave. Whoops, he doesn't like that.
You disturbed my resting place.
I have disturbed your resting place on account of your big poopy head. The undead hate it when we call them poopy heads, by the way.
Has Joko sent you to reclaim me? Prove yourself up to the task.
Armor enhanced.
So another player has joined me here.
It would have been an honor to serve beside
Rage
you.
at maximum.
And hero point complete. Hero challenge complete. The hero challenge gives 10 hero points. All right, I think over here for the harpies. A lot of people don't know this, but you can actually catch harpies by kissing someone who already has harpies. Little known fact that I just made up. And that is somebody's fighting the somebody was fighting a fighty harpy who hangs out around here. 2 to go. That will be the Elementalist, who is quite tough. He dishes out a lot of damage. And the sort of ghost worms. The Elementalist is over by the Skimmer Ranch. Which is, of course, where they make the famous dressing. Is anyone buying that? Oh, look at all the abogas. Don't mess with the abogas. They're unfriendly. Uncivil. Yep, he is right there.
If you seek ascension, you will find only death.
Well, that doesn't sound very welcoming. Oh, and we managed to Urkachoya. He exploded and chilled me to the bone, so to speak.
We heal as one.
Well, I hit the wrong button. I'm going to regret that, I bet.
Prove yourself worthy of the answers you seek.
Strength of the pack.
I have not felt this alive since the Battle of
We heal
July.
as one.
Almost got him. Just got to finish him.
We came seeking oneness with the gods, but found only death. Do not let our sacrifices be in vain.
Oh, cool. We've got enough to get one of the rewards that came out recently, the homestead recipe.
Prove yourself worthy of the answers you seek.
Outstanding. That's good. We'll help.
Still standing. Barely.
How'd that feel?
Can I
Excruciating.
get this guy up? Whoops.
We heal as one.
Wow, have they not done much damage to him? I'll note that I finished him, and he's downed both of these guys.
Sick 'em.
Ooh, and he's gonna down me too. Holy crap.
We heal
I
as
have
one.
not felt this alive since the Battle of July.
I'm trying to... Hit the wrong button because I have fat fingers. It's not my fault. Okay, it's kind of my fault.
Help! Here! Help me.
I'm
hurt.
I'm going to pay the ultimate price for helping people. Fine. Oh, I didn't get the frickin' waypoint. Why does God hate me so? Oh my God, where's the closest one I got? That's what happens if you go in and you're not prepared. I figured, oh, two of them, I'll give them a little help. They needed a lot of help. I wasn't paying close enough attention. And it got me roided. I feel a sneeze coming on. It's in there. I can hear it, feel it lurking. Look, Ma, no brains. Oh, those are soul-bound. I don't need those anymore, then. Right. We need one. I did mention that guy was a tough fight. I will also note that I beat him solo. It's possible that the reason I lost was he was scaling up because there were three of us. Don't drown.
How are we gonna get those skimmers back to their pens? Hey, if you can get close to one of those runaway skimmers, please try to catch it.
No, thank you. This has been a public lack of service message. All right. Last hero challenge. Difference is hero points in the base game give you a hero point. Hero challenges in the expansion spaces give you 10 hero points. Oh, that's not fair. ArenaNet, how many times do I have to ask you to get rid of that incredibly stupid freaking thing? Wall clinging on mounts is cool. Not being able to turn it off is terrible. Feels so bad. All right, it doesn't look like we've got multiple friends out, so we may be able to get the hero challenge here. No.
There's the power.
Without attracting the attention of the neighbors, as it were. Let me finish. Just give me another tick. And there we go. That is 8 out of 8 for this map. Please let me mount.
Endurance deficiency.
My pet is still in combat, and so
Maximum pain.
if I could mount up any time now, that would be good. Thank you. Funny how much things have changed with the addition of mounts to the game. How much so much of the basic gameplay has changed. For Joko. Praise Joko. Either that or cook him in liquid, in which case, braise Joko. Going through, turn right, into the desolation. Not my favorite zone in the game, gotta say. I need to AFK for a sec because my cup runneth under.
Sharp blades, sharp mind.
Sharp blades. Sharp blades, sharp mind. Evidently not in my case. All right, I'm back. We have 47 more points to spend here. Oh, we're getting close. 25 points, so we need 3 more. Huh.
The citizens of the Bone Strand are experiencing a rise in suspicious activity lately. Can you help?
We can go straight to Arborstone, which is in Endo Dragons. There's one in there. There's another one just outside of it, and then one more after that. And we will have finished off the entire elite spec.
I need to withdraw.
A practical
Soften them up.
demonstration then.
Rip them up.
Let's see how you fare.
Rage at maximum.
You're a fast learner,
Sicko!
but I'll keep you on your toes. Well fought. I could learn a thing or two from you, it seems.
You sure could, loser. A writ of Echovald Wilds. Alright, there's another one just
What have you been moving?
outside.
Food, mostly.
This is from the 3rd expansion, Cantha. There's a guy over here we've got to thump. If he's up. He's not up. Oh, he is up. There he is.
Rip them up. Sicko! Strength of the pack.
Set him on fire a little bit, you know, the way you do.
Soften them up.
We've also pulled in some extra friends. That's not so great.
Pet is down.
All right, we got rid of him, and now we can get access to his hero challenge. 10 more points. We just need one more challenge, and we will have finished the entirety of this elite spec. At least for now. Presumably, this one will grab the new Ranger spec, which we have a name for and some description of, which actually sounds pretty cool. It's called the Gale Shot, and it's kind of like a kit, if you're familiar with the game. Kits are basically swapping in something for your weapons. They're mostly an engineer theme.
In the mood for something
So like
spicy?
you can swap in a healing gun. Shoots healing and buffing another characters. You can swap in a flamethrower. It changes your 5 skills to the flamethrower skills. You can swap in a bomb kit or a grenade kit. And this is basically something pretty similar. It has charges, which is a little different. It has like 8 feathers or something like that. And your default attack doesn't use any. But all the rest of them use some feathers, and some of the other skills that you get from the spec can be used to increase the number of feathers you've got. I think you have 8 to start with. Consider them just like charges, I guess. What did I miss? Is it over here?
Got one heck of a special today, folks. Kaluga's still fighting.
North Lab. Okay, I am further east than I thought. It's been a while since I've been in this map, and it's a bad map. Yeah, okay, there's one just above me. This is just it's a really bad map. Lots of difficulty getting around in this map. For artificial reasons. A lot of actual physical walls like these in the way. So it feels very similar to another map which is not well liked, that I consider to be a masterpiece of design, which is
Time to let loose.
Tangled Depths. Lots of tunnels twisting around and joining and breaking up in multiple levels. It's a pain in the ass to get in, but it's beautifully designed. This one has got a lot of the same features and is not beautifully designed. It doesn't feel interesting or anything. It just feels frustrating that there are so many blocks for everything you wanted to do.
Put him in the dirt. Sick 'em. Strength of the pack. Come here. We heal as one.
Got him, commune, and the crowd goes mild. As I believe we are completely untamed. We'll head back to the Mislock Sanctuary. Sanctuary! We're going to deconstruct a lot of crap. Salvage it. This is the gear we had before we boosted to level 80. Well, it's level 60, so it's not like a huge boost, but you know. Don't need that. That one we definitely want to hold on to. That can get filed away. Keep that. Keep that. Keep that. We really don't need that anymore. Oh, we got the... I feel a sneeze coming. Another one. Might be a second one. Might be an echo. Alright, that sells, that sells, that goes into the bank. Like that. Those go into the bank. Silly wabbit. Sell the junk. And we open this up.
Oh, I know of a good use for this.
Yeah, me too. It all just gets deconstructed. Because it's all low level. It's crap. Why didn't that...
Power flow at 30%.
Don't need the dark steel. The dark steel. Or the dark steel. This stuff is all bound and lower level, so. No reason to not just salvage it all.
Threshold achieved.
Alright, can get thrown away. Those can get consumed. Those can get sold because we're currently full up, I think. And this character. Well, let's open these up, and that will allow us to swap some of this gear out. We eventually want to replace all of this with level 80. Preferably yellow stuff, but green or blue when necessary.
Oh, what a pleasant surprise.
We can close those up. Alright, we have a level 80 staff. That's obviously better than our current level 44 staff. Alright, we don't need either of those because we have a torch already, the Favor of the Colossus. Dagger. Definitely will want to replace the daggers with a dagger. And the great big mallet with a great big mallet.
This is the only proper course.
Where was it? There it was. Nice. Glob of ectoplasm. Always welcome. We will also check with the blues and the greens. Actually, we'd like to keep one of each. There's a reason for it. Trust me, would I lie? Spoiler, yeah, he would lie. He's not lying, but he would. Boy, would he.
Statistically speaking, this is rather rare.
An axe. We currently have one axe equipped, but we can dual wield axes. No, take it back. That's a dagger. Never mind. Maces. Level 76. That's pretty pathetic, but it is better than not having a mace at all. No. No. We have a great sword already. Right? Great sword and bow. So yeah, we don't need that, don't need that. Lonian rod we can't use. Another axe. Dual wield axes. So having a second axe isn't bad. No. Torch is junk. We have another already have a spear. Focus we don't use. We can have a second mace as well, I do believe. You can dual wield maces. That's actually a pretty good build. Pistols we cannot use. So, copper-fed salvage.
Power flow at 30%.
Omatic.
Rerouting.
Got some eating to do. Back down to there for that.
Oh, what a pleasant surprise.
Ectos. Couple ectos. 3 ectos, one from each. Very nice. And lastly, the blues. Well, that doesn't replace it, no. Focus we don't use. Focus we don't use. Spear, we've got a better one. Pants we don't use. Focus. And those are all just...
We have completed the task at hand.
Purina salvage chow. And we'll sell that again because we have our current max of 1,250. Give me my 89 copper, you punk. All right, let's see. Celebratory die pack. I'm going to have to give it a quick look to see what dies are included in the celebratory die pack. I know I have most of them. Because the celebratory die pack is a part of the 3rd birthday present for your character, and that means I've had it at least 40 times before. All right, the most expensive of these that I do not have, or might not have, are the Electros. I'm not big on the Electro dies, gotta say. We go to the dies. Look up Electro. All right, these are the ones that are still locked. We have 2 of the Electro dies still locked. So, what we can tell is that these locked dies are probably, for the most part, this first batch here, are probably available in this. Yes, for Recall was there. So, the Toxic die kit. Blacklight, Cobalt, and such. So, Deep Glacial and Shiver Sea are not in there. Cobalt probably is. Yeah, Cobalt is. So we know Cobalt is the first one. And then we've got the Glints. Don't much care for those either. And that's the only ones that are available. So it's everything between Cobalt and Glints. What we do is we kind of turn ourselves like this so that we can get a better look. That's Cobalt. You can see the purple. It's not bad. Pineapple, probably not going to cut it for me. Prosperity, that's not bad. Recall. Electro Blue, like I said, I'm not a real fan of the Electro dies. Glints. Glints Rebellion. Shadow Yellow, Enameled. Onset Banana. We don't have... No, we don't have so those are... Yeah, those are all the ones we have, actually, that we don't already have. Cobalt wasn't bad. I liked Prosperity, too. I'm going to go with Prosperity. Prosperity is one of the metallurgic die kits. So we'll open this up. We will choose metallurgic die kit. And I think there are 2 in here that we didn't have. Recall, Prosperity. I think we had the others. Yep. So we're going to grab Prosperity. Got a lot of good purples already. Prosperity. We have accepted.
Oh, I know of a good use for this.
We also have a die pack, and this will come with 7 random dies, 5 common and 2 uncommon or rare. I have all of these dies. So, I will mail these to a guildie of mine. Who will put them in the guild bank after skimming her fee, which I completely agree with, which is she gets to grab any that she doesn't already have first. And that's fair. If she's going to do the work, she gets first dibs. All right, what else do we have left here? Food and enhancement and the L. Left Hand of Joko of Severance. Power healing and concentration in a greatsword. I don't know of any greatsword build that is healing. I mean, it's not bad looking for sure. That's a pretty cool looking greatsword. I'm going to hold on to it for now. We'll put the celebration booster into the bank with the others. Yeah, and we have finished our objectives for the evening. We've opened up another shared inventory slot here. We took one of our characters that has use for celestial stat gear and got them their first full spec. Oh, another thing we do want to roll to real quick, which was grab the untamed spec stuff, which was bottom, middle, top. Bottom, middle, top. And now the spec is complete. The build, not quite. I am going to keep we heal as one, as I think that's better than the other heal that is offered, that they recommend. I did like Exploding Spores and Sun Spirit for the next two. Exploding Spores, where are they? Where are those? They're there. Exploding Spores, Sun Spirit. And the last two. Traversal's nice. I want to keep that, but one of the alternatives was also good. Forest's Fortification. What was the alternative? Protect Me. I think I'll go with Protect Me.
Sharp blades, sharp
Put
mind.
that in there. That's Traversal. Yeah, that's a pet command. And then the last is Forest's Fortification. So this character was a level 60 with junk gear and is now level 80. Good gear, good spec. Good gracious. I'm going to call it an evening right here. Seems like a good place for me to break it. After I drop a couple of things back in the bank. Yes, my bank does overflow. Don't rub it in. It's not nice to point out somebody's shortcomings on stream. Thank you all for hanging out. As always, I am very appreciative. I should be back in 2 days, not tomorrow, but instead on Thursday. Don't know what I'll be playing. Trying to figure out right now. Guild Wars 2 is possible. Also possible would be Dune Awakening. There are a couple of, well, at least one sort of Asian MMO things that I've talked about trying a couple of times. See if I can get the gumption up to give it a shot. Crystal of Atlan. The gameplay is supposed to be very good. The rest of it is going to be boilerplate Asian MMO type gaming. It's mostly a PvP game, which doesn't interest me, but I do like trying out games with good gameplay, even if it's not a game I'm interested in the long term. As an example, Elion. The gameplay was extremely good. I think it was Elion. The game was garbage. Outside of that, the questing was terrible. The story, laughable. The voice work and writing, barely qualified as English. A lot of the other game systems were terrible. A lot of the game was almost all terrible, but the gameplay itself was really good. And sometimes that's enough for me to give it a try. Anyway, back in a couple of days. Again, thank you very much for hanging out. I hope the rest of your Tuesday evening or possibly Wednesday morning goes great. Hopefully you'll see me soon. Have a great rest of your day. Take care. And ciao for now. Bye, guys.